Hello, this is Bria LeBeau, and I'm a marriage and family studies major, and I did my internship at the Madison County Cooperative Extension Office working with 4-H, and I was actually put in charge of a youth group called the Madison County Youth Council. I had a lot of fun there, and I hope that this PowerPoint can convey all of the great times that I had and also help you understand a little bit what my internship was all about. There were awesome experiences that I had, and a lot of learning came out of my internship, a lot of things that will help me in the future as I desire to work with Cooperative Extension then. Go ahead while I'm doing my presentation. Go ahead and think about if this would be something you would like to do in the future, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Here we go. I first found out about my internship through a teacher, actually Brother Galbraith. I was in his class, and one of the people from the internship came into the class and he gave a presentation on what Cooperative Extension does, which is actually funny because I had been involved with 4-H when I was younger, and I really loved it, and I was actually looking to go and work with Cooperative Extension in the future, and I had been looking at all of these different internship opportunities, but they all seemed pretty far away. And it turned out that no one had ever done my internship before what I have done. So I talked to this man who came to our classroom to do the internship presentation, and I emailed him. I sent him a cover letter, and after I did that, he looked over my resume and offered me a position. It turned out he was into finance, and I wanted to do more of a 4-H setting, so I asked him about that, and he sent my resume over to a different supervisor, Candy, and she looked it over. She sent me an email and asked me if I would come in and interview with her, and so we interviewed, and she loved my resume, which was great, and I ended up being the very first person to do the internship there, which is really awesome because they haven't had too many interns in the past, but now it looks like they're really excited to do more interns in the future. I had quite a few responsibilities there at my internship. There were a lot of things that I was able to do that I'd never done before, and I learned a lot. One of my main responsibilities was coordinating events and meetings. I did a booth at the farmers market every other week with my youth, and that included contacting my youth to come and help out and also setting up the booth, as well as deciding on what crafts we would do with the kids. They had to be younger, kid-friendly, and then testing the crafts out myself and buying all the materials for it. I also helped out with the 4-H camp, which included doing planning meetings and training up the counselors so that they could be really great counselors for our 130 kids that went to the 4-H camp. I helped with games, and I set up some events and stations, and then just showed up, and I was able to go to the camp, and that was awesome. I slept over the night and made friends with a lot of the kids there, and I was able to help Candy out with random things that she needed. The Clover Bud Day Camp was also a fun one that I was able to do. That involved as well training up some counselors and training them how to man the different activities that we planned. I planned the activities that we would do and also bought all the materials and then tested them out with the counselors that I was training, and it was a huge success. We had about 25 Clover Buds come. That means that they're age 6 to 8, and they had quite a bit of fun. The 4th of July booth was also a great time. We did that as a fundraiser for our club, and we ended up making about $50 or so in the matter of 2 hours, which was awesome. And we made cupcake decorating, and we also did face painting, and I also planned that and got helpers and bought all the materials for it. So that was a great opportunity for me. Some other responsibilities that I had, well, a big one was heading the youth program itself. So one thing that I did as soon as I started the youth program, pretty much my supervisor said to me, well, I have this youth program, I haven't been able to do too much with it, so here it is, make it your baby and do with it what you want. So one of the first things that I did, I worked on the program structure and worked on giving more of the youth leadership opportunities within the program, which meant every youth would have a responsibility. And I did that. I also communicated and followed up with the youth on everything that we did. I was able to contact them through email and phone communication, and also a lot in person, talking with them and texting even. I also conducted the meetings and the activities that we had. We had at least one monthly meeting, and then we had quite a few training meetings for the upcoming activities every month. It was my job to make sure that the youth were there and follow up with them if they weren't able to make it, and to train all of them accordingly so that they were ready to do what they needed to do at our activities. I also advertised a lot and invited newcomers to the program. We're still working on doing more advertising within the community so that more people hear about the program, but we've done quite a bit. I made a poster, which you saw previously in this PowerPoint, and we're planning on making that into a plastic sign that we can take that with us wherever we go. We also made our own t-shirts with our logos on the back, which I designed, and those t-shirts we wear at whatever activity we go to so that people can hear about us and hopefully want to join us if they have youth that are of age. And the last thing that I've done a lot of is organize paperwork, and I also organized our storage room, which was pretty crazy when I first got there, but I organized it all and got everything where it needed to be, so it was easy to find the materials that we needed when we needed them. And that was pretty much it. I feel that I benefited the site that I served in a lot of ways. One of the things that I did is I helped with a lot of the major event planning that was going on, and by doing so I was able to ease my supervisor's burden with all the other things that she had going on. I was able to prepare the counselors for the events so that they were prepared and ready to provide a great time for all of the participants. And I worked on making the banners and flyers and signs for the events. I also helped out with whatever was needed, which sometimes I'd just go in and there wouldn't be too much to do, and I'd just say, Candy, what can I do to help you? And she'd give me quite a list of things that needed to be done, and I was able to help lift her burden. And just by contacting the youth and coordinate activities, that did a great deal of benefit, I feel, because I was able to help them feel involved and keep the program running and going. And yeah, as I said, I did ease my supervisor's burden a lot by just doing all of these things, which really contributed to a great summer. And once the youth were out of school, they were all eager to participate, and I was able to make that participation possible through my efforts. I benefited personally from this experience in a lot of ways as well. One of the major things that I benefited from is my knowledge of 4-H. I learned a lot about how it works and the ins and outs. A lot about how the county fair works and such. I also enhanced my experience working with the youth. I haven't been around the youth for a long time, so I was reminded of what it's like to be able to communicate with them and form connections. I also enhanced my experience with program development, especially when it comes to the structure of a program and maintaining consistency and doing those things that keep members involved and willing to participate. Also, all of the red tape that needs to happen so that we can make the program successful. I also furthered my experience with event planning and fundraising. Specifically event planning, I planned a lot of events which took a lot of time and effort, and I made some mistakes which taught me quite a few things about what I can do better in the future. And when it comes to fundraising, I learned that it's very important to make a small investment and have a lot of profit. For example, when we did the face painting, the face paints cost about $5, and we brought home about $50 from that. And one way we did that was by having the cheapest prices around. So everyone else was charging $5 and we were charging $1, and that was awesome. So I learned quite a bit about that, and I hope to further my knowledge in the future as I am continuing with this internship, of course, as a volunteer, not an intern. And I look forward to enhancing my experience more and learning more about what this entails working with 4-H. One connection that I was able to make between my coursework and what I experienced during my internship was in my family practicum class that I had. I was able to do a lot of advertising. I did the workshop where I did a class for the students on campus about communication and relationships. But one thing that I really remember specifically from that class is advertising and getting the word out there and making flyers and such. And at my internship, I was able to make quite a few flyers, and it was my job to present the information in a way that got people interested and provide the contact information necessary. And through doing that, I was able to get a lot of people involved, and I am really glad that I had that experience already working on flyers because of practicum. So that taught me quite a bit about how to do that in the future, and I still use that skill that I learned in that class today with my internship. I'm probably making at least 1 to 2 flyers a week. Would I recommend this internship to another student? Yes, I absolutely would. It has been such a great experience. In fact, the entire time I was there, it didn't feel like work, and as my time came to end for the day, I just felt like I kept wanting to keep going. It was so fun. In fact, a job also came out of it. I'm now being paid to help out with the county fair, and I'll probably do that while I'm in Rexburg every year. And I'm also still volunteering as the youth supervisor for that group. And I just absolutely loved it. It's exactly right up my alley. I love working with the youth. I love helping them learn the skills necessary to survive in the real world and learn leadership skills, which will benefit them throughout the rest of their years. I really enjoyed working with the families and working on strengthening those family bonds as well through some of the activities that we did with the youth. And I love trying to get the families involved. So if you're a marriage and family studies major, I would say go for it. Cooperative Extension does so many great things for so many families all around the world, and you're guaranteed a job wherever you go if you have this experience, because 4-H is everywhere, in every county, in every state. So yes, I would definitely recommend this internship to another student. As far as contact information goes, I would just contact your Cooperative Extension office in any county that you may be in or be interested in serving in. I actually went to the Cooperative Extension in Madison County, and that was through the University of Idaho. You can look it up online, and they always have contact information available. If you wanted to go through Madison County Cooperative Extension, I would suggest contacting Candy Boyce, and her information is also on the website at the Cooperative Extension through the University of Idaho. Well, it's been a great opportunity to share this internship experience with you. I hope that you find it to be something that you would like to do for your internship. It really was super beneficial to me and provided me with a lot of experience for the future, and I'm excited to continue working with Cooperative Extension for the rest of my life. So I hope that you find this information helpful and enjoy.